Hi, you guys. Welcome to the channel. For those of you who are new, I am Jennifer Hale. I am a 4-decade veteran of voice acting, on-camera acting, all the things. I come in here to share just my experience in the hope that it's helpful. And that's what we do at SkillsHub.life. So feel free to like, subscribe, share, all the things. All right. We talked last week about emotional connection, and that's the video previous to this one. And this week, I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, which I call cover. I learned this from Jeff Corey, who was an absolutely brilliant man. He was blacklisted in the McCarthy era. Look that up if you're not familiar. It was a pretty intense time in the U.S. and couldn't work in much of film and television because of that blacklisting. And many people were victimized by that. But he ended up working a lot in sci-fi back before sci-fi was cool. He was amazing. And I had the wonderful privilege of learning from him in class a few times, I think. And I'll tell you the story of how this concept arrived in my brain. We were in a workshop. I think I was like 19, maybe 20. And I had driven over from Birmingham, Alabama to Atlanta to take a class. And there was an actor on stage who was emoting his face off. He was emoting all over the stage. And I was just enthralled because emotional access, for me, I think for a lot of us early in the process, you're like, can I cry on cue? Can I do all the things when I have to do all the things? And, that's like a big goal, right? And he was up there having all the emotions. And I was like, wow, sitting in the audience watching. And in the middle of his scene, Jeff Corey stomps onto the stage and says, "God damn it, people." And, he was a large man, tall man with a very, very big voice. And we jumped out of our chairs, every one of us. And he said, "Real human beings do not set out to feel things. They set out to do things in the course of which they have feelings they don't want to have. I don't want to see your goddamned emotions all over my stage." I was like, whoa, mind-blowing. That concept has stayed with me ever since. And it's such a powerful concept. And one of the things that I've really lived, and it's so cool to have experienced, is the evolution of acting, especially in games. When we first started doing games, I think I did my first game in 1994, the acting was a little pushed. It was a little presentational, a little more over the top because the visuals weren't there yet. The visuals and the technology was just beginning to capture human expression and human movement and all that. And I really, really experienced this over the course of Mass Effect 1 to 3, because I got to play the same character over a number of years with a massive volume of lines, forgive the pun, a massive volume of scene work and emotional experiences, etc., that needed to happen. And in Mass Effect 1, that sort of presentational style was still there. By the time we got certainly to 3 and into 2 as well, that there's an on-camera concept that comes, I heard it from Michael Caine, which is thought registers on camera, that I believe applies to voice acting, which is thought registers on the mic. You just think it, and it's enough. You have to be feeling it. You have to be having an experience. But that arrives at what I experience is kind of like a layer cake. When a scene is being built, if you will, I take that writer's beautiful, beautiful information, right, and I understand what's happening. I come to an understanding of all the nuances of that world and those lives and what's going on there, and then to execute that and bring it to life and breathe life into it, I have to get my emotional engine going, which is in that previous video we talked about some of the ways you can approach that. It's a very individual process. Some people work with body points. Some people work with animal imagery. Some people there's all kinds of ways. There is no right way. Don't let anybody tell you there's one right way, because there's a million different ones of us. Well, there's 7 + 8 billion of us, but you know what I mean. So that first layer of the actual performance for me is that emotional, well, first layer is understanding. The next layer that comes after it for me is emotional connection. Is my emotional engine alive? And have I sparked an internal experience of that emotion? Like if it's loss, that's a heavy thing. And then comes this fabulous thing that I love called cover. Everybody covers differently. If you're playing a soldier, they're going to cover with, I'm feeling nothing, I got this, I'm fine. If you're playing someone who lives in the intellectual world, they may cover with, I understand this, I am nonplussed, I am professional. If you're going to cover with a little kid, they may be having a tantrum. But sometimes what they're screaming about is not actually what they're screaming about, If they're mad, they're actually sad. Anger is a secondary emotion. This is a whole exploration of human behavior and human emotion, which is one of the reasons I really advocate for therapy as a tool for performers, because it's like university. You can go to university for your own emotional library, for the library of humanity and the human experience, and all the ways you can tinker and play with all of this, right? Okay, so cover. So how does your character cover? Pay attention to how you cover in life. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. No, I'm good. Do you cover by being super helpful, super pleasant, super just fine? Do you cover like, I don't care, it doesn't bother me at all? How do you cover? Because everybody covers. So check out how your character covers. Some people cover with hysteria, when the truth is they're really competent. They're just acting incompetent to control the situation. Like, it's fascinating. Cover is so interesting. So go play with cover. Enjoy. And glad you're here.